Where's the YouTube?
It should do. Now with new and improved ad block, even if I can't see shit because my screen's gone so dark. What was that?
Yes, it's alright.
Okay, good. I'm going to now set it up so you can see my screen, and then I'm going to get the fucking links, because I've not done that yet. Because I was getting the ad block and all that shit. Open, you fucking cunt! Jesus Christ!
You're live, remember.
Okay, so you can see it. Good, good. There we go. We're live late, but this time because I spent some time essentially just getting some shit ready, like an ad block for once.
See if it works.
It better fucking work. And as our friend, shit, what the hell? How do I say your name? Maximus has said in the Discord. He said. He said that apparently being on time is a white supremacist construct, which is why I wanted to be on time. God fucking damn it!
You want to be a white supremacist? Fucking hell, man! That's a bit.
Can't pick up on a joke, but okay. Hopefully Susan doesn't hear what we said. Okay, so from the 15th.
Susan makes you. You've seen the movie 1984?
Yes.
Right. So you know the lady on the television giving the commands, the instructions for the exercise.
Yeah.
Then she like shouts at Winston to why 17 or whatever the fuck its number is, and that just sort of. I picture Susan Wojcicki, whatever, as that woman.
Why? Okay, so I have got the 3 links that were sent this time. You lazy bastards! I might have to start stealing from the Lotus at this point, and just if we're gonna keep the episode going longer, just steal from the Lotus and just be there hi, this is entirely something that the Discord got for me ready. I promise.
Little links that I posted.
What was that?
They all links that I posted.
I missed a post?
No. So 1, 2, 3. You got 3 stories.
Literally 3.
All that stuff that I've posted on that.
Is there more stuff? Okay. So I have got. Oh damn it! I'm trying to mute this so I can see if we're actually getting chat in there. Okay, but Think Positive is in here. Oh, catching it early today. No, you're not late. You have... Fuck you. We are late. It's meant to be starting 3 o'clock and shit got in the way on my end, so yes, we are late. And we just have only 3 stories, apparently, because some lazy bastards. I'm going to have to maybe get some links from the Lotus. I don't know, maybe. Well, we can just do a short episode this time round. How does that sound? Especially with the fact that I'm going to have to fix whatever is wrong with my laptop somehow afterwards. So I guess a short episode would probably be best for me anyway.
Well, I'll just see what you go and tab along anyway.
This is some good lunch, by the way. Also, as well, what the fuck is up with your mic, or is it my internet connection?
It's my mic.
It's definitely your mic then, because my internet connection looks good. Let me just check.
What does it sound like? What's wrong with it?
I don't know. It's okay. My internet connection looks good, so.
Why loud? Very what? What?
Does it? Your voice keeps cutting out. Clearly, you have finally got your priorities right. Fuck off, Think. It was quirky that we had ads all the time, interrupting shit and annoying people. Now we've lost some personality. I'm joking, of course. I'm fucking around with you, but still.
Hello.
Wait, did someone else join? Let me check.
No, that's testing.
Right.
Testing.
It's that bad. I can't tell if you're testing or not. Well, anyway, I'm going to start this shit show with the first story it brought in by Shadow, followed by the second story by Shadow, and the third by Shadow. By the seams of things, yep. All three of them are from Shadow. Okay. Lazy fucking bastards, the rest of them.
It's like a sci-fi theme, I think. It's maybe not the first one.
Yeah. We don't understand.
Oh, that was the election scandal.
We don't understand. Romanian Eurovision team questions why the EBU modified its jury result, giving its 12 points to Ukraine instead of. Oh no. Here we go. It's one of those, is it? It's one of those TV bullshits that I didn't pay attention to because I have a fucking life, rather than looking at TV shit. But
first, yes, Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah, Eurovision.
Bullshit.
Did they literally just give the vote to Ukraine?
Yeah, there was an election scandal, a voting scandal in Ukraine, in fucking Romania and some other Eastern European countries that didn't vote for Ukraine. They voted for the local neighbours. But they're like, oh, we've got problems with their results. We're just going to give all the votes to Ukraine. Yeah, Ukraine won.
Huh. I hate this bullshit because essentially it's like, can we just have like an escape from? No, everything has to be about pro-Ukraine. It's like you can make all the arguments in the world that Russia is the fucking villain, but it's like when you look at all this shit of like it's a case of Ukraine and EU would do nothing wrong, and all this propaganda stuff. You gotta admit from the Russian perspective, this probably doesn't look good. It looks really bad when all of the Western world is just pro-Ukraine's violence, but against Russian violence. And I know it's the whole childish attitude of it's just good guys and bad guys, but it's a case of, oh my god.
You're the good guys. Good guys. Anyway. Who's the good guys? I see bad guys everywhere.
Eurovision Song Contest is a normie cancer. Always was. Always has. You know like the meme thinking? Positive. You know the meme of the guy who's just there like, oh, wait, it was this all the time? It's like, and the guy has this gun and just says like, it always has been. That's how I feel about this. It always was and always has been cancer. Romanian head of delegation musical says she does not understand why EBU cancelled Romanian's jury vote or why the 12 points awarded went to Ukraine instead. On Sunday, they were told that the Romanian jury had followed all the rules set forth by the EUB and were taken aback when their results were annulled. She described phoning home.
We're going to make the decision for you.
Literally, and why am I getting flashbacks to 2020 with America?
No, you can't say that. The Ministry of Truth will come after you.
I'm getting flashbacks, mate. I'm definitely getting flashbacks to 2020. Where it's just like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. These are the fair results we promised. Don't worry about it.
Well, the Romanians are gonna like riot the Eurovision building.
Thing is, with this, it's a case of like an election is one thing, but now with this, like, can we just not have just a nice little fucking escape from the harsh world of war? Can we just like have a nice little competition? No, it's always got to be this, hasn't it? It's always got to be about the Ukraine shit.
That's the current thing.
Current thing. Hate the fucking current thing.
Remember when the current thing was Brexit?
Oh my god, I remember that. That's so far long ago that I'm hearing the At World's End theme music from The Caretaker, which, if you don't know, basically it's a 6.5 hour long piece of music that's designed to depict someone falling victim to dementia, and it's so long ago that I just have that playing in my mind right now.
Oh, I'm just going to slowly forget everybody.
Also, as
Sometimes
well,
I
any music
wonder.
contest, the caretaker should fucking win that hands down. I'm sorry, but fuck it. You're not gonna beat like a piece of music that goes into the depths of dementia. I'm sorry, but it's hard beating that. Oh,
Well,
what the fuck? There we go.
you're judging it on catchiness. Like, oh look, this is fun. Everybody's got rainbow flags.
Ugh. I fucking hate the rainbow flags. I really do. So much. I learned that it was organized with all the rules imposed by the EUB. It was organised in the studio before the jury members. Oh, okay. Members of the jury could not communicate with each other. All right, fair enough. So that's fair. And even so, all of the agency was just taken from this country and just said, like, no, your votes go here instead. Oh, look, Ukraine won on the landslide. It's like, okay.
Right, and all the jury members decided the same thing when they were all separated.
I'd be smelling something suspicious going on here. I don't know about you. Seems.
They've all had the same instructions beforehand. Like, they don't need to communicate after the fact. They're just like, oh, any funny business, you give it to Ukraine. So, oh, funny business, funny business, funny business, to Ukraine.
Romanian spokesperson finds out live on TV all at the same time as all of us
Oh, is there a clip?
about the technical difficulties that the EUB reported last night. This happened, and they said, I can't believe this. I really can't. Well, too bad. It's all about the current thing. Oh, there's a clip, yeah.
Are o problemă tehnică și că nu mai intrăm. Consternarea mea este înregistrată. What? Nu cred. Deci nu cred.
Yeah, it's about the current thing. Deal with it, you bitch. Look at that face. Why are they cheating on us? Why are all these rules being broken? I love the look on that face. They can't understand why the current thing has ruined their little faggotry music competition.
Yeah, bud. YouTube.
Oh yeah, shit, sorry. Sorry, Susan. Seriously need to somehow manage to get... Okay. Wait, what the... Was there an ability to restore my history now? No, only clear recent history. Okay.
Oh, do history shit later, don't do that.
Yeah, I know, I just don't know why the thing that had me trying to apply for jobs on it has gone. Like, essentially, it's a little bit of an annoying issue, if you don't mind me saying, that's all.
Yeah, some of the words annoying. Don't go to, like, throw your history up there on a live stream.
Live stream of Harry trying to fix his fucking laptop.
Yeah.
The stream
like,
just...
look, it should work. It should work detailed stuff with your address on it.
No, I just have this image in my mind of, like, there's a live stream of me trying to fix my laptop, and the stream just gets more and more cursed and glitchy as the stream goes on. So it's like, why isn't this working? It's just like, Harry, stop, please. This stream's getting more and more unwatchable. Please stop it. That's how I picture that going.
Right, carry on reading. Excuse me for just a moment. I need a drink.
Okay, I'll read for a bit until you get back, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a short one. And you probably can't hear me. Earlier on Sunday morning, Romanian television posted this lengthy statement on their official Eurovision page. We've embedded it below, and also past the text in case the Facebook embedded isn't loading. Okay. Romanian television has fully committed to prioritize. Okay. Honestly, we were surprised to find the results of Romania's jury vote was not taken into the final ranking, with the organisers assigning another set of scores to the competitors in the final. On behalf of our country's jury, we specify that the jury in Romania decided to grant the maximum score to the representative of fucking foreign names.
Yeah. Just say foreign name.
Yeah, foreign name. That's just gonna do that covers it. It's the case of just everyone who's a foreign name now is just called foreign name to me. Fuck it.
What foreign does on the loose?
English supremacy confirmed. It's just English supremacy confirmed from now on.
Fucking hell, man. Chill with the supremacy.
No. In a message transmitted to the representatives of the participating countries on Sunday night, just during the announcement of the result of the vote of the international... Jesus Christ! Why is it like, of the... It's like, hang on, it's like, I remember high school educating. That is really bad writing right there. Then again, it is like a fucking web article that's probably made by some leftists, so I'm not really surprised.
I thought that was you struggling.
No, that wasn't. Like,
and then it's like, oh wait, no, it's not.
That's what I mean. It's like, who wrote this?
A fellow dyslexic retard.
I wouldn't write that. How dare you?
Doesn't the spell checker come up with like a grammatical error thing?
Well, no, because there's a word between it, but it's a case of the announcement of the results of the vote of the. Like, it's a case of like of the. That's kind of shit writing, and it's not something I'm going to be able to unnotice now. Because it wasn't even me struggling; it was just the way it was written. In order to comply with
the voting results of the national juries.
Yeah. From what I can hear from your mic at the moment, it sounds like you're struggling to read it as well, just because of how terrible. It's so badly written that you're just there like, hang on a minute, give me a minute. Like, I can read this, just like, give me a second. Don't help me. I can read it, I swear.
That was special with a capital R.
In the message, Romania was not explicitly nominated on the list of the 6 countries, nor... Jesus Christ, this website. Nor did it receive at the end of the second semi-final, which specifies the identification of irregular voting patterns. An official communication regarding
That's a familiar sounding line. Irregular voting.
Oh yes, this definitely is jogging my memory of a certain vote in 2020. It's definitely like it's a case of due to the fact that there's only the 2 of us. I think, if you don't mind, we should give our thoughts on it rather than read every line autistically, especially with how badly written it is. So No, it's a case of, like, I don't hear you disagreeing with me, just laughing at the idea of it. So, my thoughts are that I'm going to get sick of the fact that every form of entertainment, aside from video games, is just all going to be about Ukraine. There's just going to be no escape from the current thing. It's all going to be about, yes, but have you given your vote to Ukraine? It's like, no. It's like, why? You wouldn't be pro-Russia, would you? That's just going to be what this is now, from now on. And it's
going to be Ukraine.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, oh, that would be cool, because if you like had everybody in the West would be forced to play as the Western allies, and then Russian sides would always lose in the game because there'd be like the dozen or so Russians who managed to get their VPNs to allow them to get on.
That's kind of amusing, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, that does amuse me. But the way I just see this is there's nothing good that's going to come from this, as far as I'm concerned. It's just going to be just crap all the way down. It's just going to be complete crap. That's all this is going to be now from now on. And I hate it.
Unless something changes. There's little changes occurring. Maybe.
You son of a bitch, get over here. I decided, because I was having so much fun reading that article and how crap it was, I started playing Smash Bros. While we were doing the stream, and this fucking die, you son of a bitch. Okay, there we go.
Multitasking, Harry.
Yes. And I do believe I have just won this match single-handedly. Yep. Oh, you son of a bitch. I wanted you to die. I could easily do this in less than a minute, but you had to do that, didn't you? I could have won this round in less than a minute, you cunt. Just die, for fuck's sake.
Twitch gaming stream. We can set that up another time.
Well, it was such a shit article, and I thought that effectively, because this guy was so crap, that I could do it in less than a minute, and then, effectively, because it'd be done in less than a minute, like, no one would ever fucking know, but okay. Can you... Okay, this guy's annoying me now. So, this article was kind of crap, though, but it's just going to all be about current year. It will be funny, though, for video games, where it's just...
The point of the story, the article is shit. Like, the point of the story, like, they've literally just gone, like, nope, your vote doesn't matter.
Literally, and it's going to be like that for a lot of shit now.
Well, don't you have to, if you're going to vote in like that, aren't you charged for it?
Yes, you are. Like, it's a case of, if you ever vote for stuff like that, it's a case of, it's one of the ways that they make money.
Yeah.
And with the economy of countries like the hell is it called? I can remember the name. It's gonna bug the fuck out of me. I'm not playing the thing now. Actually, just so you know, I am paying attention. Romania, that's it. Because of the economy of Romania, it's like the equivalent of if you or I were paying 30 quid for each vote. So imagine like how many people just had suckered out their money for this. It's kind of a dick move, to say the least.
30 quid.
Yeah, essentially it's like the equivalent of 30 quid per vote for them. And they were just told, nah, you don't get to have a fair vote.
Where do you get this conversion from?
Yep, all of that money that was spent on voting for that person, no, Ukraine, all of it goes to Ukraine now.
Where did you get that money conversion?
Oh, you mean my figure? I'm going off of the idea that effectively, I'm going off of the rough idea. So it could be more, it could be less, but I'm going off of a rough guess.
Oh, so if you're gonna say I heard V say it, I'd be like, but otherwise,
oh,
no.
you covered it already. No. Okay, fair enough.
No. With that price amount that you just, I was like, don't know. I have no idea. I'm not. You might be right. You might be wrong. I don't know. Next.
You want to go on the next one already?
You like what the fuck? They've fucked with a vote. They're doing a vote, and it's just like, I mean, because it's the Eurovision, it gets all the Euro association to it.
And the European Union, perhaps? Is this going to be how, if the European Union does manage to set up its own country, which they're desperate to do, is this going to be how they're going to run votes? It's like, I'm sorry, Germany, but all your votes are now for this French person. It's like, oh, fuck off.
They're not connected entities, but it does seem like they are just institutions that bow their head to.
It's all just very suspicious. Nothing else. Okay. This one could at least be more interesting, if nothing else. Russia uses laser weapons in Ukraine. Oh dear. Oh dear me. That's not good.
Why is that not good?
Because essentially it's just a case of people just say oh, why don't we use something instead of nukes? And this is what it's going to be, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah, maybe something like that. With these particular things, do they really sound that powerful? Doesn't it say they're used for like taking down drones or something? Just disrupt their onboard computers by sending waves that disrupt their communications or something. I could be wrong. They could be zap lasers.
Don't ruin my mental imagery of the fact that we're going to start the Warhammer timeline, because in the Warhammer timeline, eventually humanity started using like laser weaponry, and it got better and better and better, and then like technology like fucked up, and then they had to use like a regressive inferior version of technology. But from our perspective, like the lesser sort of Dark Age version is like amazing, and so they will fire so many laser guns at a tank that the tank will just start fucking melting from laser guns.
Yeah, well, what if I told you that? So what do you think is the most powerful laser then?
I don't know.
What? So in terms of your little laser pointers.
Yeah.
They're about 2 milliwatts, which is is 2,000th of a watt.
Yeah.
You know, like your laser pointers you see when you see the beam on them, that they're attached for like laser sights on guns.
Yeah.
Those are about they're about I think about 8 milliwatts. So they're about 4 times stronger than the little pointer ones.
Right.
Then you've got you can buy reasonably powerful lasers of sort of 1 to sort of 3, 5 watts that are capable of if you pointed at a match head, it will set the match head on fire, or if you get a black balloon and point at the black balloon because it's black and it absorbs all the energy, it will pop it. It can sometimes do it to other colors. It's really hard to do them to whites. So yeah, that's like a 1 watt laser. You can get like 10 and 50 and 100 watt lasers for industrial use.
Yeah.
So if you think like a handheld sort of Bernie thing laser is 1 watt, what do you think the most wattage of a laser that, let's say, some military, the most powerful thing that even like military would have?
50?
What watts?
Yeah.
Well, when like industrial stuff can have like 100 watts.
Okay, then in that case, 2,000?
But 2 megawatts. 2,000 watts. Okay,
Yeah.
what if I told you that the it's more in the realms of million billion?
Based. We had the power of the sun! Die! I like the sounds of this. We're going to enter the Warhammer timeline one way or another.
You run shit through a certain laser combiner technology. You take multiple laser beams, so you can just take like, let's say something simple, like you want a 10 watt laser,
Yeah.
and you take 2 1 watt lasers, and you've got a 2 watt beam, and then basically you point them together and they combine them, so you don't need so much of a emitter that can emit that amount. You've got lots of smaller sources. Run them through the thing that uses a series of mirrors and filters that would redirect the light to it, combine it all together into a single beam, essentially, and then you can get so powerful shit.
Nice. Not gonna lie, I like the sound of this. I am not gonna lie. I do like the idea that we are slowly creating the fucking timeline for just Warhammer. I want it. I want all of it. It's gonna be great. We need to have just entirely just bullshit Warhammer references everywhere. And we definitely need to have...
I don't know any Warhammer.
Oh, poor thing. Just know that effectively, just imagine if the what the hell are they called? The SUWs all had different like evil gods representing them, and you have more of an idea of what you think of where it goes. It's kind of horrifying, actually. Honestly, I'm getting annoyed with this screen, I'm not gonna lie, but I'll fix it afterwards, because I think we already agreed on doing a short episode anyway.
Well, what's viewed on this end looks fine.
Well, it doesn't look fine on my end. I have to like squint and lean into it, just look at it like, oh, my eyes, kind of thing.
So it's definitely a screen
Harry
problem.
for God Emperor. Thank you, Bleach Demon, but I don't really see it's the problem with that is I'm not a massive autistic retard Reddit atheist, so it wouldn't really work.
But you are an autistic retard.
Yes, but the character of the Emperor is that he is a literal god who is also, like, the whole point of his character is that he's an atheist, and he wants to, with his...
Well, I'm an autistic retard who's the atheist, but not really Reddit.
It's basically, if you had a god who constantly went on Reddit and talked about atheism, you would have the God Emperor of Mankind in Warhammer. And it's very strange when you actually look into it, and it just wouldn't fit whatsoever, Bleach Demon. I'm not 20 foot tall for starters, and I
So
don't...
let me philosophize to you about something that doesn't exist. Like, why do that?
It's more of, it's a case of, he has to destroy all religion in the most autistic way possible, and it's a case of, it's not something that's aged very well, because... in real life, we've seen what happens when you just try to destroy religion, and the modern West isn't looking very good. And time to evolve, Harry. It's like, oh, for God's sake.
If you really got something against religion, you don't need to destroy it. You just need to look at religious people as, like, inferior people who need a simplistic explanation. And I'm too big-brained to bother with any of that. If they just took that position, to end up going down the route of leaving people alone and doing their own thing. And everybody can just get on. And it's like, the thing is, if people do embrace a bit of ego, they can sometimes result in leaving people the fuck alone.
It can do, but then that doesn't mean, like, shoving your worldview down everyone else's throat and proving how smart you are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's about leaving people. Like, if you end up going, if you think that, if you just go, well, I'm too smart for them. I'm not going to bother with them. It's like, cool, you go do that.
Plus, that honor is already taken by... Exactly! That second plague, right? Okay, it's like, that's the reason why I can't be the God Emperor of Mankind. Because Donald Trump is already going to be that guy. Also, by the way, second, I'd love to have you in, but just be warned, it's looking like, because there's something going horribly wrong on my laptop, like it could be a fucking short episode this time. Just letting you know ahead of time.
You're going to drop out of existence. No.
I'm not going to drop out of existence. Fuck you.
If you imagine, if people in the, the metaverse, and everybody sat there in their own simulation units, and they interact with each other,
Yeah.
and somebody has a power car, they'll just vanish. Like, you'd be all sat around having dinner at a cafe in Metaverse land, and, like, they'll say it's us lot on Discord, and we'll just sat down and, like, having a virtual reality drink or whatever, and then you just sort of vanish. You just look around and go, oh, Harry's gone.
Yeah, that could be a bit worrying.
It would just be sort of like one of those things where people would be vanishing. If they want people to be immersed in the metaverse so much that they want to experience it as though it is almost like just interactions. They'll just be, if that does happen, they might be like, as we see it right now, it would just be like, oh, they must have dropped, their internet must have dropped out. But then, oh, hello, second plague.
Oh, the second plague has arrived then. Good.
But then if the oh fuck, what? Hello, second plague. What have you shown up for?
What's up?
What do you have to say about what we're on, the UFOs?
Also, you can... We're not on the UFO shit yet, and no one sent in more stories. Also, second, you can join general calls if you want to every now and then. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, it's more
Oh,
so a matter of being busy. I do join them now.
He's too good for just a general call. He said, "I'm only going to appear if it's live on the internet."
I do find that idea funny, but it's the case. I understand where he's coming from like being like busy.
He's
But
not.
I've not seen him in general calls for a bit, so it could just be that what's it called? It could just be that he's on and I'm not on at the same time as him, probably.
He's a narcissist.
Yeah, that's more what's. Usually, I feel like I get on when it's like nighttime for the Americans, so you're probably already asleep by that point.
Shame. But
But
my
on the
apologies for
topic-
like doing a shorter episode. It's just like well, it's not finished yet, and people might send in more shit. But there's something horribly wrong with my laptop, and my entire internet history and all of my fucking things have just vanished, and it's kind of odd.
Well, speaking of the metaverse power cut, like Shadow, have you ever seen Adventure Time?
No.
I
Well,
have.
Is that the weird one where it's like a kid's cartoon but gets really violent?
It's a kid's cartoon, but when you like look behind like the sort of, like colourful visuals, you start to realise that it's based in the future after like the future of our world after a nuclear holocaust happened, effectively.
But like the funny thing is, in one episode, they like come across essentially this like metaverse that everyone's living in.
Oh no!
And then like the power gets cut to it, and the people like flop out of their pods, and they're like, it's like the most sad, pathetic thing ever. They're like trying to summon shit by like force of will, like they were doing in the metaverse. And so Finn and Jake are just like, what the fuck? And then they're like, and then they just like put the people back in the pods and just leave. Like,
Honestly, I don't blame the idea of like, I'm not doing a part of this, I'm leaving, goodbye. I don't blame it. It's just I'm not being a part of this. This is the end.
I just posted another one.
Oh, you posted another one?
It sounds like it's going to be amusing.
Hello?
I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Maybe
I'm not
humans are
very-
Martians. Fuck off! That is so dumb.
Yeah, like... yeah, we'll do that one in a bit.
Okay, in a bit. Oh. But I've not actually seen that episode. I kind of like... The only thing I've really enjoyed from Adventure Time is Simon Petrikov, because... Come on. I sometimes like stories that explore shit like someone losing themselves and everything that they are in the most morbid way possible. Hello?
Hello.
Is he gone?
Second play.
No, he's still there.
He's muted.
Okay, in that case then, I'll see if there's anything else but it just looks like just people just going pew pew instead of bang bang at each other.
That's that.
Yeah. I really hope, just for the whole Warhammer thing, that some retard has worked out a way to modify how much power it uses from the battery, so then they can overcharge each shot and just start melting through tanks. Do you think like as they're using lasers, the other side's going to start coming out with weaponized mirrors? That'll be the thing. It's like the
tanks will just be massively reflective.
yes. It's just that the tanks are just the outside of the tanks is just mirrors instead of like shielding from metal. It's just mirrors. You fire a shot at a tank and it's just a disco ball and it goes everywhere, and everyone's just screaming as there's just blood coming out of their eye sockets instead of tears. This'll be great. This is the greatest form of warfare ever now. What the fuck? I love warfare. This'll be so dumb.
Warfare. It's all fair.
Oh dear.
They like people who just go, it's not fair.
It's entirely fair.
Fairness sounds like it's such a childlike
The thing is there's not really, when you come down to it, like, war isn't something that's easy to keep honourable, for obvious reasons, because it's called war. But the laws of war do exist for an actual, like, reason, and it is that if I, like, it's a war crime to do a false surrender, because if I do a false surrender, then the enemy now thinks anytime that I'm actually injured and I try to surrender, or my forces try to surrender, they'll just think it's a false surrender again and start killing innocent people who are trying to surrender due to already being injured.
Yeah, it's the logic.
And if they start trying to surrender, I'm going to think they're also just doing a false surrender. So I'll have to just kill them too. So no one can ever surrender now. It's all just to the final death. And that's the reason for it being a war crime.
It all happens from every...
But it's a case of, it's very difficult to have an honourable war, but there are logical reasons for these things existing.
You can have a side, like, both sides engaging in false surrender.
Yeah.
People get desperate and they do whatever. And if they think it's going to work, then why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So that's usually how you play a war out. It's like, if you think it's going to work, why wouldn't you?
It's like a case of the thing is, though, it's like, it might seem like, oh well, it's really advantageous for me to dress up as a civilian to attack the enemy. Yes, but it's sort of illegal to do this, because then the enemy has to assume that every civilian on your side is a soldier, and you start getting into a lot of problems after that. Like, a lot.
That's the problem there was in the Vietnam. He got murdered by American soldiers because the Viet Cong were just hiding in amongst they're basically fighting insurgents, terrorist insurgents.
Yeah.
It was similar to how it went down in like how it's gone down in Iraq and Afghanistan.
And
the people you're fighting are going to be on an open, clear battlefield where you do the thing on the battlefield away from everybody, and then
and then if you don't do that, you start having major problems really quickly, and it starts looking really ugly. And it's just like, oh my god, how can you do all these evil, like, well, maybe don't do all this other shit, perhaps. But no, we can't have nice things, can we? Can't have nice things. World's just full of shit.
Well, maybe just don't be evil. Is it that fucking hard?
You're either doing an impression of me or someone else by the accent, and I can't tell who. But I completely agree with this statement. Why not just don't be a dick about it, effectively?
Well, that was more of a Sargon. When it's Harry, it's a little more softly spoken.
Oh, okay. But it's literally a case of like, oh well, now we have to assume that every civilian is now an armed combatant. It's like, okay, this is going to get very ugly very quickly, and it's going to look awful on the world map, and oh no. And
well, how would you imagine a Third World War going?
I imagine it where every single civilian is effectively more or less going to be in some way or another a armed combatant. Whether legally or unofficially, it's not going to be pretty. That's honestly how I picture it.
Yeah, but how does it get down? The way I see it is, it's like right now you've got Russia and Ukraine. It's country and country, but you've got the rest of the world supposedly on the side of Ukraine, like the Western world anyway. But there's people within those countries who are just like, I think about Ukraine, and I don't like what our government's doing. There's a lot of people like look at America. You've got half of the country, like if you go by the election results, it's basically a 50-50 split, where with the siding with people like Trump and then siding with the fucking globetards.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, you'll have an invasion force come in. You'll have half the people who are like, oh yeah, well, it's not going to work like that. If it's already going to be ideological, it's just going to be small skirmishes against militia groups and little ideological militia groups. It's going to be like fucking Germany in the 1920s. just on a global scale.
The problem is there's no sort of trenches these days, if that makes any sense. There's no battlefield. I think, you know how cities in Ukraine got bombed a lot? Imagine that, but every city that's involved. It's just going to be get out the fucking cities. It's just my opinion on this.
What do you want to knock out these days? Before you'd want to knock out, so you want to go for communications, right? But these days it's not just a telephone line. Before you knock out like a central telephone line and everything would go down,
and then not communicate for anything. Wait a minute, let me read this message from second. You can't change anything unless you can discard part of yourself too. To suppress a monster, you must be willing to abandon your humanity. It's like, okay. And Bleach Demon says, it's only a problem if you're not willing to seek victory. It's like, well, here's the thing. Let's say I'm at war, and I'm winning, and I've not injured a civilian yet, and now there are soldiers shooting at me dressed as civilians.
Harry, is this your last war, though?
My last what?
Your last war. You know?
The war to end all wars.
Oh, I don't know what this is a reference to off the top of my... Wait a minute. Oh, fuck off seconds! My war! The thing is, it's a case of... It is good to seek out victory, as Bleach Demon put it. The problem is it's a case of, let's say that I'm in a war and I'm winning against my enemy, and I've not shot a single civilian yet, so the other side wants to win, so then they start, playing dirty tactics, and dressing their soldiers up as civilians, so now I have to start shooting civilians. Out of their desire to win at all costs, it's now turned this into a much more bloody fucking affair. And, well, now I'm gonna have to fucking genocide half your fucking city until you officially surrender, aren't I? Just because you had to get the fucking civilians involved.
Well, that was what it was feeling to see if there. It was both ways, actually. Like, so one of the reasons for using the nuke against Japan was the idea of an invasion. It was they thought the Japanese were very, very ideologically possessed. So every man, woman, and child was going to fight them. Like civilian or otherwise, and there was also the same sort of idea of the Japanese had that thought if they made a land invasion of America, one of them said that it was like a gun behind every blade of grass because you have an armed populace.
Yeah, it's honestly good luck invading America. Well, okay, maybe nowadays, but still.
Oh yeah, the Chinese invade America. You might have a bunch of all the fucking Democrats and the commies all fucking embracing them.
Horrifying to think of.
Then they put them up against the wall. Crimes and shit for wanting to do the fucking LGBT show.
I don't think the what the hell they called the Democrats realize just how it would go if China really invaded. Like, it's not going to be what they think it is. They're of the opinion that they'll be nice and lovely and they'll love. No, they won't love you.
It's not that they don't realise; it's that they don't care. Like, so if you remember Hillary Clinton back in the day, and Barack Obama, were just like with the what is marriage? And I believe a marriage is between a man and a woman. Like that was the complete and a solid rhetoric. Was just like, no, it's between a man and a woman, man and woman. Eventually, like, okay, we'll let them have the gay marriage thing. Right, and they're all like embracing it and everything. So that sort of shit, they don't care about. They're all just like, well, I'm up here anyway. I do what I want. I have my little fucking sex parties with the children. And
oh god! I mean, you're not wrong, but I think one of the worst examples of that has to be, admittedly,
they're not going to care about the fucking social laws that are in place. They just care about getting their big piece of the pie, where they're like trod on everybody else, and like whatever their investments are in are gonna go down the right path and go like, you better vote for this so it makes this have money.
I am like, one thing I remember that was really annoying is that essentially it's like a case of there was this thing where there was this poll done where it's a case of, oh, if America was invaded, what would you do, Republicans, and what would you do, Democrats? And the Democrats would just say like, oh yes, it's good for us to go to war and to fund all these wars, but if push comes to shove, I'd run away. I wouldn't fight. And the Republicans were the opposite, where it's a case of, I don't want to have war, but if we are invaded, I will fight to the bitter end, and it's like, okay.
What you should do, I think, is if you look at
I will fulfill my duty as a citizen to the bitter end.
No,
Yes.
no. It's. I think it's more like, so. If you took the average Democrat and the average Republican, which one do you think is more likely to own property? To own their own home.
I mean, I'm going to say that the Republican is more likely to own property, more or less.
Yeah, they've got an investment in the ground around them. Basically, this is my home. I've put a lot of work into earning money to pay for this place. You're not just going to come along, tell me to bomb the shit out of it, and tell me to leave. Get fucked.
Apparently they are, according to the Democrat.
Yeah, the Democrats are all just float around wherever, don't they? They move from city to city, just renting everywhere, and don't give a shit. They have nowhere that they don't invest in anywhere, so they don't care.
Also, second, what were you doing a reference to just then, if you don't mind me asking? It didn't come to me at all.
Reiner before he, goes for
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Speaking of Democrats being pussies, I linked a thing in podcast voice text.
Okay.
It's a pretty solid article I came across.
Oh shit. So I'm actually going to have to open this one as well, which is, I believe, another shadow thing. This might end up actually being a 2-hour episode, against what I desired earlier, but okay.
Well, I'll just save it for next time.
No. If it ends up being 2 hours, it ends up being 2 hours. But the ad blocker is definitely working, if nothing else.
We're on the UFOs now.
Hang on a minute. Let me open this from our friend here. Or do you not want me to open this on the podcast?
What the fuck?
Do you not want me to open this in the podcast? Should I close this?
Salvation of weakness. Oh yeah, that's pretty much what's going on.
Second.
We know this.
It's the victimhood thing. People desire to be a victim.
Speaking of victims, I'm going to honestly say something. I'm going to bring up on the gold tier call when I get the chance. But something that's been bugging me with the load seaters. I'm pretty sure everyone involved on that show is an actual pussy. And hear me out here when I say this, right? They all complain about how when they had feminists in their respective colleges who were reading The Handmaid's Tale, how they wanted to say something about it and how bullshit it was. But they all just sit there and took it and never said anything. And then... Right, you can probably tell where I'm going with this just by that laugh. And then there's me, right? Unironically, there was this thing where it's a case of let me lecture you about this, and feminism, and it's just say shut the fuck up, female. It's like you can't say all these sexist things. I'm autistic. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to discriminate against you. And then you can just walk all over them after that point. Just walk right all over them. My favorite one, when there was the big thing of there was a terrorist attack a day from the religion of peace that wouldn't do nothing wrong, we swear. There was this thing going on where at one point they had to do a lecture on, you wouldn't want to be an extremist terrorist now, would you? So let me give these lectures on why it would be such a bad thing if you did these evil things. And so they started this lecture. It's now here's the thing why you don't want to be a Christian extremist who goes around bombing people. And so I unironically brought up Sargon Akkad's video on terrorism rates, on which ideologies commit the most terrorism. As it explaining it, it's no, there is no sort of massive terrorism coming from Christians in Ireland right now. This is horseshit, and here's the reason why. Here's all these statistics. Harry, that's a very interesting point, but I'd like to actually, and also here's all these more statistics. And he couldn't do the entire lecture because the whole time I was proving him wrong.
The shit in Ireland isn't even it's divided on religious lines, but it's not about that. It's about the people who believe their country is being occupied by the British versus those who with the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like that's the division. That's not even a religious one. It's a political one. And it just so happens there's the division of the religious lines because the Church of England was Protestant, whilst the Celts outside of the Church of England, so Scotland and Ireland, remained Catholic.
Yeah.
It just happens to be a division for those circumstances. If Henry VIII hadn't have wanted a divorce and all that and remained Catholic,
I'll tell you what, though.
those situations would be Catholics against Catholics. It wouldn't be framed like that. It would just be framed as like, oh, the English against the Irish.
I'll tell you what, though, it is definitely a fun one for me when I explained that essentially just all the things that were wrong with the idea. That it's just a case like the best reaction that I've ever seen from the Handmaid's Tale one had to have been, it's like, okay, so how do these Christian extremists then, how do they take over the US government? Oh, with shotguns. Against the US government? Yeah, they shoot shotguns. What, do they have the power of God literally giving them holy bullets that make them just melt through bombardments and barricades? No. Just shotguns. It's like, right, so how the fuck's this gonna work? And it's none of these feminist whores ever had a fucking answer for any of it, and it was beautiful just to see their head explode.
Like, so are you of the Biden position that it takes you 50?
No, I'm not. But it's a case of there's such a thing called tanks. And last I checked, like it's set in like a future, so whatever. And then essentially they're explaining how just with shotguns, apparently these people managed to defeat tanks and all of the US government. And I'm just sat there, it's like, fuck off. It doesn't make sense. If they literally had holy guns from God, sure.
I don't know, I've not read it, but
literally, it's a case of all of the power that the US government had defeated by shotguns.
Yeah, most revolutions are done with rifles. So that's the only complaint I'd have is shotguns over rifles. But individuals running around doing stuff, that's how revolutions usually go down.
Someone's giving me a fucking message that I can see on Discord. What the fuck is this? Oh my god, why is everything being slow on this laptop? Holy shit.
Your laptop's retired.
It was fine before I had the ad blocker. Okay, that's kind of funny.
That's your favourite ad blocker.
No. I said to the mech guy who makes the giant robots in the video comments of the load seaters, how the weight still looks like it could be tipped and toppled. So he responded, "You will be powerless. It has an inbuilt anti-cringe field."
That is cringe. You're doing the legs all wrong. I was looking at some shit. You got to do like never mind.
I find that amusing.
Basically, I just say you need more spring in the legs. The mechanical legs, mechanical spring. Going.
Back to this though. I'm not how do I can't get off of this unless I turn off the ad blocker. So
yeah, you turn it off for that one page.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, what the fuck?
I'm telling you how to click the.
Okay, there we go. So this is one that I thought some of you may. Well, what's called Shadow brought this up, and I like the idea of covering this. I'm not gonna lie. UFOs pose real danger, says Pentagon.
You think it might be a psyop?
Yeah, I do think this is a fucking psyop, because essentially it's just a case of new thing to make public go scare. Please be scared, public. Please be very terrified.
20 years ago, it was all like, no, these don't exist. But they started like dripping dribs and drabs out. Oh, a little bit, that little bit, and now they're full on just like, yep, they're there, they're doing stuff, and it's just sort of it seems too good to be true. Like if you've got weird ass propulsion stuff that makes it go whoosh from fuck knows what, I want to have a look at that.
Oh dear. Unless you. Oh, thank you. Bleach Demon, I agree with you on that one. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, I was just reading what Bleach Demon put just a second ago. But yeah, it definitely feels too convenient for me. I just don't trust any of it at all. I just do not trust this shit. It's like you could have had all this time in the world to explain how these UFOs were a thing, how we're secretly being visited by aliens, and you didn't do it until you had this nice little thing that, oh, please stop looking at this. Here, aliens, see? There's nothing going on. Please don't look behind the curtain. It's like...
I want to see more stuff from... So we've got all the social media.
Yeah.
How is this shit... How are not individual civilians? Why is it the military?
Yeah.
If aliens are coming along and visiting people, why are they only interacting with the military? Why aren't they landed in some random farmer's field and the farmer gets out his fucking iPhone and he's like, oh shit, what the fuck's this? The beginning of Back to the Future, right? Marty, he hops in the DeLorean trying to drive away from the fucking the terrorists, and he's like, can you do 90? And he's like, and he crashes into the farm, and the farmer, and into the barn in the farm, and the farmer comes out with a shotgun. Like, they don't come out with a shotgun today. You come out with your phone and be like, what the fuck's this? And you film the whole thing, and it would look crazy because he had the suit on. Why are there no videos like that? Why are they all like these military videos? Oh, we saw a little dot go whoosh.
I'll tell you why. It's because they're the videos that are taken down in the big cover-up, taken down by the fucking alien menace.
Yeah, but it's stuff of everything through, and it would. Stuff moves too quickly. That's why maybe that's why they're happy to say that there is they know that these are about to come. Like, people are posting more shit. You're gonna start seeing stuff from civilians maybe, but then that might all be fucking psyops.
I just have the opinion that it's a case of, like, if there's an alien race, right, that has technology to travel to Earth, then the technology gap is so phenomenally advanced that it's just not comparable whatsoever, and they'd effectively view us as ants in comparison. So
there is one possibility that they could be of not that far ahead. It'd be, so if you took the space race that we had, if the budget was maintained at what it was, which was when NASA landed on the moon.
Yeah.
Their budget was, I think, like 4% of gross domestic the GDP.
Right.
Today it's like 0.4%, so it's 10 times less.
Okay.
So if they'd have maintained that, they'd have gone to Mars, and then they'd have, maybe by now they'd have just launched like a multi-generational ship that could reach out to life further out there.
Yeah.
But that would, so they would develop slower than everybody back home, and that means you get a weird. So they're on their journey and they're dying, and the kids are trained to operate the spaceship, and they go on for like 30,000 years to get to the nearest star to come visit us. And they'd be sort of a different creature by then anyway. That's what.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to sneeze in your face. Down the mic, rather.
You meant to sneeze completely on everything.
Fuck you. Also, hello! We have the man who is going to bleach the world.
Yes, bleached with fire. Or the sun, either or. So, I just thought because I find it a very entertaining topic, the whole UFO thing.
I do as well, but not for the same kind of reason. Like, it's a case of a lot of time when I see shit about the ancient alien theories, it usually comes down to I know that these people couldn't have built this because it's too difficult for me to understand how it was built. So it couldn't have been made by real people. So it must have been the aliens. The aliens did it. See, I'm smarter than anyone who ever was or ever will be alive. I found the real reason, and it's just like, oh, shut the fuck up.
It's kind of weird.
The people do we can't figure out how to build it.
The Satanists, they're contacting interdimensional alien life, folks. They're using the planet.
Like as Shadow puts it, if I heard him correctly, it's like they say that we can't work out how it was done. Bitch, it's fucking documented in history. There are documents.
The construction techniques are sometimes misunderstood by modern scholars, and that's where the confusion is. So it's like, oh well, we can't figure it out, and we're smarter than the people in the past. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up. No,
you've got like so many layers of like communication there, because you can have somebody who has to translate their documents into, and they're going to be a translator, not an engineer. They'll translate it into something, and they might use the same word for something like a line and a beam or something, which could cause, I don't know, like issues. But then you've got the person who's then going to draw that up, and then somebody who's then going to try and build it. He's like, "What am I building? A pyramid? What? Oh, I'm just going to go get my machine tool."
Yeah.
You know what my favourite one is, though, on the people who essentially it's just like the behold how smart I am. That's the best way to describe these people. Is my favourite one that I've ever seen has to be this one where they tried to calculate the likelihood of people like across the world building pyramids without being taught like the special way by the sky people, the aliens coming down to teach us the ways of building. And it's like, oh, the chances of people by pure chance just all doing this same building technique by pure chance is like 1 in a billion trillion, like something really tiny. And it's not by pure chance though. It's by the fact that having a wide base and a thin top is actually not pure chance. It's that's just the easiest way to build something.
I'm going to pour sand in a pile, and
it literally
it naturally does it. Yeah,
because the bricks are easier to form and build stuff with.
Or, oh well, I need to make a crude shelter. I've got some sticks. How do I make it together? Ah, that's right, a pyramid shape.
Literally, like, this is why I'm just sort of sat there. It's like, what do you mean you can't work out why people across the world would all find this exact same building technique? It's the simplest way of building.
I think there's more stuff to it though. There's like interlocking bricks that are it's like two separate bricks where the join appears seamless, as though it's the same. It's the same brick.
Continuous stone, yeah.
Yeah, but they're interlocked. There's stuff like that which people can't figure out, and I kind of think maybe like does that interlock go all the way through? Because you could use sort of plaster or something,
or even various crude forms of concrete could possibly make it look more seamless. If done out of cruder materials, possibly. Yeah, it's a fascinating engineering discussion, but let's talk about aliens instead of people figuring shit out.
My phone randomly got a news pop-up. The U.S. presidential election wasn't stolen. Here's why so many people believe it was.
Oh, here we go. Please read this out to me.
No, I didn't click on it. I let the pop-up fade.
Oh, fair enough. Based Chad move. I'm not reading your bullshit.
What shitty news source was this?
One that we're not
CNN?
using, we're better than that. CNN! Oh my god. I'm gonna start reading this fucking shitter. Defense Department officials. Oh! Did someone else have something to say? Did I mishear that?
Nope. Go read. Must read.
Defense Department officials on Tuesday confirmed that an unidentified flying object are real and pose potential serious threat to the country. Bullshit, but I'll keep reading.
No. What? That's not bullshit. An object flying through the sky that I don't know what it is. That's an unidentified flying object, a UFO. It doesn't mean it's an alien. That doesn't mean it's anything. It could be someone threw a rock. That rock's a UFO until you identify it.
It could literally just be like on a rock. Like I was gonna say a meteorite, but you beat me to it with a rock.
Or meteorite.
Well, it could be. It's like it's just something flying through the air, and it's like, oh, why is this thing flying through the air like a Mach 20,000 or something? That's creating like a giant ball of light. I don't understand what's happening, and it's just moving through the air so fast that it's burning and igniting the fucking air around it, and that's how it's making this bizarre light show as it burns in the atmosphere. It's all explainable. You just have to identify it first. Like this.
Yeah, that's.
I know what it is. It's a UFO.
Yes.
I don't know their UFO.
That's because military officials believe that nearly all of the unexplained events could be explained with more research and observation. Okay, fair. To do that, they need military members to be more open to reporting mysterious objects without fear of being laughed off as science fiction conspiracy theorists. Okay, well, whenever people try to explain conspiracy theorists, stop telling them that they're deranged lunatic right-wingers then. How's that sound? Well, no,
that's because those are conspiracy facts.
It's like a case of stop propagandizing conspiracy theory. It's a bad thing then.
It's not conspiracy theories. It's fortune telling.
Very good.
The fates are conspiring for you to win $1 million. Just give me $5 to go get a lottery ticket for you.
Oh dear. We're attempting to explain what may be natural phenomenon as sensory phenomenon or legitimate counterintelligence threats to places where we have military bases or platforms, said Ronald
McDonald.
Yeah, you know what, Ronald McDonald. Fuck it, yeah, sure. This is Ronald McDonald now. Just give him a clown costume, it'll be fine.
It's Ronald Moultrie, but
no, it's McDonald now.
Fun.
Fuck it, it's McDonald. I'm not putting it with these burger names. In fact, hang on a minute.
Burger. It's
a burger name.
How do we sell more burgers? Burgers? What are you talking about? That fucking meme, honestly. Fuck! My screen is so dark, I can't find his fucking name to change it.
It's a screen of color, Harry.
No, hang on. Shut the fuck up.
I have problems there.
Give me a second, I'm trying to do something. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. Fuck, how do I set this on the iPad? No, where is it? No, I don't want to server mute you! Jesus Christ, how do I do this on my iPad? How do I change your name?
Whose name are you trying to change?
What I'm trying to change fucking Demon's name to Burger Demon, and I can't do it on the iPad, and it's too dark on my PC, on my laptop to see what I'm doing. Shit. Never mind, I'll do it later. Well, the joke will be gone by that point. This fucking laptop, honestly.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
You didn't even spell burger correctly, Harry.
I've not even wrote it down. Wait, did someone else do it?
Yeah.
Who did it then? Oh, it'd be Shadow. Thank you, Shadow.
But I'm burgered.
He got burgered.
I think I might leave it.
He's just
I'm good
called
with that.
Burgered Steven now. Oh no. Oh god, someone renamed Toast as Cock Goblin.
Yeah, it should have done it the other way around.
Goblin. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no. Where was I for this?
The Undersecretary of
McDonald.
Defense for Intelligence, Ronald McDonald.
Ronald McDonald. Hopefully, if we get more information out there, we'll start to lessen the impacts of some of those spurious reports. Yeah, that's what spurious means now. I don't care what that word is, it's spurious. That's the answer now. During the hearing, the first public hearing on UFOs before Congress in more than 50 years, the military officials acknowledged that sightings of unidentified aerial phenomenon have jumped significantly over the last 2 decades. Well, that might be because technology has advanced a lot more.
What did they call unidentified aerial phenomenon?
Yeah.
Do you know why they call them that?
Why?
So they don't come up in Google searches when you type UFO.
Pretty much.
Is that literally the fucking reason, the autistic bastards?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Scott Bray, Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence, said the reports are frequent and continuing, especially around military bases and training areas. Yeah, it's probably just a new type of aircraft, like, every time, you fucking retards.
Well, yeah, I think the thing with the reports, and again, I follow this for pure amusement, it's like they don't follow normal flight trajectories. So to me, it's like, all right, so somebody's developed some new technology or drone technology that people just don't recognize right off the bat.
Yeah. It's like a case of there are some limitations on what you can do for a flying vehicle for a human being, because basically it just makes all the blood rush out their head and they pass out.
There's a pushy thing on the inside. That's the...
Yeah, but there are some less limitations with drones, and they can fly in other patterns which might not look natural as a result. Like, it's a case of some of the limitations that aircraft have. You usually see, like, birds can actually fly in similar ways. Like, drones genuinely fly in an unnatural pattern that even birds don't fly in, if that makes sense. You could say insects sometimes fly that way, I guess, but birds, like, drones don't fly in a way that's just natural to the human eye to see. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. No, that's a fair point. I think what this is probably gearing up for is the announcement of some new technology here in the next decade for aviation.
One thing I'm not looking forward to is like, oh, we made this like drone with a gun on it, like the same kind of drone that you drive like from your iPad. Oh, and we gave it an AI. It's like, why are you doing that? No reason. No, we called the AI Skynet because we thought it'd be funny. Don't worry about it.
With facial recognition, and you create a swarm of them, and you instruct them to fire. You instruct them to take a picture, but the take picture button is linked to a trigger of a gun that's on board. So they fly out, and they're instructed to take a picture of every fighting age map and in a particular area. You send the swarm out, and go. They find each person scanner, pop. You've eliminated all possible fighting force in that area.
Wasn't the most illegal thing that Obama did, actually, where he signed a thing where it's a case of, fuck it, we're sending drones into the Middle East. If they see any civilian, they're counted as a fucking fighting soldier, and it's like, you what? You what? Obama, what the fuck are you doing?
He's getting another Nobel Peace Prize, that's what he's
Obama. collateral damage, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Wasn't one of his
Wait.
things as well?
Here's the question: do you think they're gonna give like Joe Biden like some prize for no fucking reason?
Probably.
You're damn right. Yeah, the Nobel Peace Prize for not shitting himself on a daily basis publicly.
The thing that gets didn't Obama as well, off the top of my head, I forget what the wording behind it was, but didn't he legalize slavery as well in some form? Like he
Well,
wrote,
the healthcare part, yeah.
no, not just that, but essentially it's like work without pay or something. I can't remember what it was, but I remember it being one of his bills that was completely fucking ridiculous.
That's pretty much every one of his bills.
Fair. That's
So is that the one that allowed companies to basically use shitty conditioned workers in China and shit?
might be.
Yeah, probably. I think
can't-
it was one of the trade agreements.
Legalizing slavery, allowing you to make outer products used by other countries legal slavery.
I can't remember the details of what it was called, but I remember it being like a controversial thing.
Yeah, it's like slavery just with extra steps.
So slavery then, Mr. Rick Sanchez.
Slavery with extra steps.
That sounds like typical Democrat policy.
I mean, it fucking... I can't understand what the hell is wrong with the Democrats, honestly, on that one.
I mean, you guys were touching on it earlier. It's just all about power. They don't care how they get and maintain it, as long as they have it. That's it. Simple as.
To me, it's just kind of disgusting, I'm not going to lie. I just do not see the appeal at all. And that's probably just because, like, well, Harry, you're a normal person who treats people with decency. And it's like, yeah.
You're not normal, Harry. I don't think you treat people with decency, though.
Oh, dear.
You can't treat people with decency if you're going to be based.
If you what?
If you're going to be based, you can't be treating people with decency.
A requirement of being based is treating them like shit.
No. Just treating people with indifference that deserve it.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
That's the thing, people seem to take indifference to hate, and it's like, no, I don't care about you. Why would I waste energy on you to hate you? Fuck off.
Exactly.
I literally don't give a shit. Leave me alone.
I like the idea that someone's just there, though. It's like a case of, oh my god, you're such a right-wing and hateful person. You can't be... Yes, I am hateful. Fuck off now, please.
Oh, yeah. When someone uses, oh, you're an Istonophobe, it's like, thank you, thanks for noticing. I'm trying to improve it every day.
What you do is when you have to do the census, you write down Sith as your religion. But hate is a part of my religion. You can't do me for a hate crime, because then you're discriminating against my religion.
No. One of my cousins, for a joke, wrote on his census, he wrote Thanos, and it's just like, what the fuck? Okay.
I am Thanos.
like he wrote down religion Thanos. Sometimes I do think that some people in my family can be a bit silly. I'm not complaining.
A bit silly here.
Maybe a little bit.
Like entertaining.
It is definitely entertaining, I'm not going to lie. In many cases, the reports come from pilots flying by objects at high speed, spotting something amiss for only seconds or less, but Bray said at least some could pose significant threats either from foreign adversaries or aerological collision, indirect collision, whatever. Less likely, though, officials acknowledged, not completely debunked, is the possibility of alien life watching humans from the skies. Well, if they're advanced enough that they can come here, I'm pretty sure they're advanced enough not to crash into our fucking shit.
You don't know. They might not be used to our atmosphere. It might be different to what theirs was. Aerodynamics and things might be a little bit
off.
not what they expected.
I mean, I guess.
Yep.
They could also...
yeah.
I have this idea in
If
my
you-
mind as well of, like, drunk alien driving.
A distinct possibility as well, but it's kind of what Shadow is touching on. If you've got something designed to go through the void of space and then you suddenly get into an atmosphere, things are going to behave significantly differently.
I don't even mean that, like that. I mean, I'm kind of thinking more if you came from a planet with a higher gravity than Earth, and therefore need a higher level of technology to escape that planet to start with. So as a starting point, these people are going to be more advanced for getting to space at all. But if their home planet, the higher gravity, that meant their atmosphere would have been denser. So it would have been more soup-like to fly through. And what if they build an aircraft that could fly through that no problem, and think, oh, this has got the same atmospheric makeup to ours. They just maybe didn't take the change in density so much, because like you could have it slightly. You don't have to be that much bigger. It can be quite similar, just to be off that little bit and get the density. But maybe they can't. You try and fly your aircraft in that atmosphere that's a bit too thin for you, and you're not expecting it. You start crashing.
Mm-hmm.
It might even be down to something like the aircraft might be capable. The pilot, if you have a person who suddenly got to fly in a different atmosphere, from aircraft to aircraft, it can be different. If you go from one atmosphere to another, you might have to fly completely different.
I mean, it's not really something I considered, really, I'm going to admit. I'll be honest. I didn't think of it. I kind of feel a bit silly now for not considering it, but it is what it is.
This is what I think about all the fucking time. How do I fly on a different planet? How would I escape a planet with a thicker atmosphere and higher gravity?
You're smart, Shadow, but if you were stuck on a different planet, I don't see you building a spaceship. That's my take on the matter. It's like I think you're smart, but there's a limit.
Well, it's like you take an old shipbuilder and you strand him on a desert island. What's he gonna do?
He'd build a boat, but not an entire galleon fucking ship.
I'll build an
Give
airplane.
it enough time and motivation.
I'll build an airplane.
Okay, I guess.
Well, fuck it, I'll build an airplane and start civilization with flight. Here we go. That's my effort to get back home off this planet. It's going to take a long time, so it requires...
It's like a case of normal civilization starts with farming, and then the Shadows version where it's like, oh fuck this, we're just building spacecraft right away.
It's like this is how rocketry fits, and here's how to build an aircraft. Go.
It's like a case of where...
Oh, but I'm hungry. You've got to go to another planet to find the food. Go.
No, but honestly, this is creating this idea in my mind that Shadows just say, it's like, oh fuck this, we're not building civilization this pussy way, the way that beta males do it. We're just going straight to the airplane building.
We go straight to the moon.
What was that?
Let's go straight to the moon.
Yeah, literally.
We'll establish our capital upon the moon.
Yeah. It's like, oh fuck this, we need to skip all these steps and go straight to the moon. There we go, problem solved. That's how this feels to me, and I'm not complaining at all.
What do we eat on the moon?
Just eat moon dust.
Well, you did horticulture, Harry. Can you come and build a farm for me?
Well, here's the thing. There are many problems with, because essentially this was something that was brought up in horticulture. There's many problems with, hey, how would you build an off-world farm? It's not that easy. And there have been experiments with trying to farm with soil brought back from Mars, and the plants just become toxic, and the soil's just too toxic for the plants. It's nowhere near as easy as you think.
What what soil brought back from Mars?
Sorry, I got the thing mixed up, but it's just nowhere near as easy as you think. What the fuck?
Nobody's brought any soil back from Mars.
I got the thing mixed up. I said, I'm sorry about that. But it's like nowhere near as easy as you think, because it's essentially just been saturated in the atmosphere or lack thereof atmosphere of where it's from since forever, and that means it's also contaminated with radiation as well. And so it's a case of like building, like farming on a place that's not Earth is nowhere near as easy as you think it is. The
Yeah, but
opposite.
you build a big dome, build a greenhouse, and
Yeah, but the soil is still like radiated. You'd need to like get rid of all that radiation though.
you bring soil from home.
Okay, and what are you going to do with the soil that's underneath that that's then going to contaminate the soil above it?
We talked about you build your greenhouse where you dig down like 10 feet and fill up soil.
Okay, won't the radiation from underneath leak into the soil above?
What radiation? Radiation from the sun. It's not going to come from up below.
No, like the radiation, the radiation that's in the soil from the native soil, and you then put more soil over the top of that inside of the greenhouse. Won't the radiation from underneath just like leak into your soil?
No, you put concrete between it, and then you
Okay,
put
good.
soil.
Okay, there we go.
But
You could do
why would there be radiation down deep?
The other problem as well that you've got to get into is the problem then with, I'll just use concrete, is what you're going to do if you, and you're probably going to say pipes, but you got to get the drainage just right. Drainage is a fucking horrible thing when it comes to getting, like, when it comes to farming, because you might think, oh, well, there's not really much of a problem, just put pipes there. Well, if it drains too quick, then the plants don't get any water out of it. If it drains too slowly, then you get the problem as if there was no drainage whatsoever. Like, soil drainage is a massive thing.
Yeah.
And effectively, you don't want it to get too wet, or it just rots the thing.
You're building a space green.
Space
People are going to be designing it for you. Are going to be really spurgy, clever people who will be like, "Ooh, how do I calculate how much water flows through this at this rate? That's going to feed into this, and quickly will it drain?" And then they'll build a spreadsheet and chuck all the numbers in it and go, "Oh, it's this fast."
Well, see, if you really wanted to do it the really super advanced way, you get cardboard like at the Chaz
Shut the
shop.
fuck up!
Oh my god, what is going on? What is this? What did I walk into?
We're discussing how you would
back in.
farm in space.
How you'd what?
Farm.
Farm in space.
Yes.
See, my question is, now hold on. Now this is a real scientific one, alright?
Oh no, here we go.
If you jacked off in space,
Oh god.
would you coming move you? Think about it.
Yes.
Isn't it like the Newton's law? Like, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So you calculate the velocity at which you ejaculate, amount of which that you've ejaculated, and then how your entire mass and how much mass you've lost, and that would be the amount of acceleration that you received from it.
See, beautiful. That's the question I wanted answered.
Okay.
See, when you're adrift in space, you just whip it out,
Shut
take
the
care of
fuck
business,
up.
and go back to the shuttle.
I think your dick would explode. If you got like an erection in space without the spacesuit.
The thing that I'm getting
Well,
to,
that's
like,
the joke.
someone at some point is going to essentially bring up how you could shit and to propel yourself in a space station. I can picture it now. Someone's going to try and calculate that.
You farting maybe. The shit comes out too slowly for it to provide any real.
I love how it puts the thought into working that out.
You say a thing, what do you expect?
I didn't expect that.
There's always an answer, Harry. It's just a matter of whether you're willing to accept it or not.
That's fair. I should have predicted these things. I shouldn't have even gone there in any shape, way, or form.
Hey, you're the one that brought up UFOs, Harry.
Well,
That's how we get on this topic?
it's a link from Shadow. It's basically UFOs, and essentially just people in the military being there like, oh yes, this is a serious problem. Be worried about problem. Oh, There's another link to the podcast.
Well, I would look at it, but I'm driving right now, so.
No. No.
What?
Be a rebel, son.
Shadow, why?
What?
First of all, I'm driving. Second of all, I do not feel good. I have a temperature of 100 degrees.
Yikes.
So the reason why I'm not opening the link that Shadow just gave us is because it's just a
hope
sardong.
so.
It's not a sardong. Sardongs aren't for sale. It's a shill. Sell my product for me, Harry.
Fine. I'll fucking put it on the screen and get to shilling, you cunt.
And I bet you that hag I took down last night gave me monkeypox. Jesus.
I think I'm gonna go sleep for a couple hours before my shift. I'm a little hungover.
Have fun, mate. Sleep well.
As well, you should
welcome to Shadow's thing. Go ahead and shill it before I get up the page.
What? There's nothing there.
Oh, fuck's sake. I didn't look at the screen because it's the fucking sardong and I didn't have any interest for it.
So what I'm hearing is that the podcast is almost over, and I came at the very end.
Not necessarily, no.
Well, what hour mark are you at? Because remember, you want to keep it to like 2 hours, right?
Well, that's sort of like a loose rule, because essentially it's a case of... It's definitely a rule I'll keep to whenever Carb's here, because it's then more fun for him. It does make it more digestible the shorter it is, but at the same time, if essentially we just start going off on a topic, then fuck it, let's go over 2 hours.
There are no rules.
More like guidelines.
You buy the thing.
Okay, his shilling is over, I'm getting rid of it.
No, if I have monkeypox, that means a lot of people are going to get it. Because I'm going to a lot of open houses today.
Infects them all.
That's just because you're monkeying around.
Return to monkey.
Oh, I can't wait for this one later. It's going to be like some good looking one.
What now?
I'll party I'm going later.
Oh, okay.
This is just a bored old Dickosaurus, not a exciting sardong.
I'm not sure if you guys do this in England, but when you graduate high school, whichever the equivalent is for you, there's like a big graduation, and like people usually throw like parties.
Yes, and
No, I'm saying I don't know if they do open houses in England.
There are like proms, I guess. That's sort of a thing that's come over from America. When people finish their like the last year of high school.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I wouldn't imagine that open houses aren't really a thing in every state. At least not a few years ago. So
I got drunk with friends in a park instead.
now that's based.
Who fixed their ID to get the fucking thing?
What?
I gotta wonder.
To get what?
Who faked their ID in order to like get the alcohol?
Oh, just ask somebody.
Or you can ask someone. You could con someone and thinking you're 21 without the ID. They just never asked for it. It's kind of a don't ask, don't tell situation. Or you can get an actual fake ID.
The thing is when I shave, I've had people like if I want to buy alcohol, I've got to not shave beforehand if I forget my ID, because people tell me that when I don't shave that I look like I'm still 17, and it's a case that no, I'm not 17. Just please buy the fucking thing.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The price for not just destroying your body and actually taking care of your appearance is just permanently looking underage.
Yeah, that's
what a horrible thing.
Permanent.
I know.
I'll live forever.
The Democrat way.
And I thought that was stealing the blood of children.
His name is Dorian Gray, and he has a painting that's fucking rotting instead of him.
Shadow Gray.
Shadow Gray.
I prefer the don't ask, don't tell, because then you get a relationship going with the person selling you your legal stuff.
Yeah.
And then you show up when you're 18 to buy it and go, and they go, oh, what are you up to today? It's my 18th birthday today. Cheers. And they're like, wait, you've been buying for ages.
It's like that moment of like, wait, I've been given like alcohol to a kid. Oh
They're not kids
no.
anymore. It's fine. It's okay. Oh, it's this wanker.
Oh yeah, who was it who gave me this link? Was it you?
Yeah, it was me. Well, what was the title? I can't remember.
The title is, if I can fucking read it from my... I'm gonna have to fix this screen, I swear. Professor Brian Cox, maybe humans are Martians.
This is an old theory. Basically, the idea is like so when rocks and shit hit planets, it throws stuff into space, and because Mars is a smaller planet than Earth, it's got less gravity. And there's ideas that Mars used to have life. So rock hits Mars, throws bacteria up into space. That shit ends up hitting the Earth and then seeds Earth at the beginning of life. It's an old theory. It's sort of, well, yeah, it kind of makes sense, but there's nothing really to directly support it.
Well, see, that would make
Until-
the environmentalists really happy, because then you're not really from this planet, so stop destroying it. Rawr. It's like, yeah, go fuck yourself. We're here.
We're on this planet because God fucking said so. Now we're going to conquer all of the animals of the wild. Fuck you, that's why. Oh, you got a problem with it? We'll conquer you too.
Which god? The god of war? Mars?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know?
We're here because the god of war, Mars, decided that we had to conquer and enslave
Mars.
this fucking planet.
Mars seeded Earth because he thought it needed some. That's the entire purpose of humans. Humans have war. And ants.
Yes.
Man, this fucking caravan needs to drive faster.
Push it off the road.
Yeah, but I don't
About
think
to.
this is like a. So this was published like 3 hours ago. Why is this a new thing? That's why I didn't get it. I was like, that's an old theory, and Brian Cox is just kind of going, "Whoa, I think this now." Like, oh, one of those old theories that's just kind of like It's an idea to work with sometimes when you look at stuff and go, "Oh, this might make sense if this were the case. It fits with that model," and you put it away as that particular model for explaining things if it works. Sometimes it doesn't, and you move on to what does work.
I fucking hate the idea of using a model, though. I'm not gonna lie, a model to explain things, because
How else do you explain things?
you know, like those people where it's a case of, here's my data that I'm going to put into my model, and now I know how things are going to go into the future. Oh, there's a piece of information that conflicts with my model. Disregard that.
When I say model,
Yeah.
if you go sun, Earth goes round sun, that's a model. Like, just it's a thing. I'm not saying a model of a fucking algorithm and a database that does things to model a particular future. I'm saying models as in things to describe things,
Fair enough.
to show you, to like go, this is a model of the universe as we understand it, of planets going around suns and suns going around in the galaxy. That's a model.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's a particular model where you could say that the rock hit Mars when it was fertile and spread shit into space, and then that eventually came down to Earth. Which is an annoying idea, because what that then does is it gives more justification to the idea of preserving Mars and not actually just kind of going there and they don't want to contaminate the experiment, basically. They want to observe Mars to see if there is any life there, if there is any fossils or anything like that. And they don't want to go leaving human shit about that then sees life. And they go, "Oh, look what we found! We found life on Mars," and it's just bacteria from someone's turd. Harry, just fuck off. Because everybody fucked off. You just left me on a live stream. Nobody's talking about.
I don't know. I'm just amused listening to you rant about models versus predictive modeling.
I think we just need to watch X-Files. That's what I think.
But like the good X-Files, not post-movie X-Files.
But we need
Oh,
to
yeah.
Elon
What
Musk
is that? What is that? Season 8 and earlier, I believe.
Yep.
Before David Duchovny was just like, yeah, I'm a sex addict.
All right, lads, I've got things to do. I'll catch you later.
What's wrong
Oh,
with
bullshit, you have things to do.
What's
It's
wrong
called
with
trimming hedges. And I want to do it before it gets blazing hot, so.
Well, trim your balls when you get out of the shower. I don't know. Fuck.
I've got to do it publicly, though. They're big and green.
If your balls are green, see a doctor.
Fauci said it was fine. The science,
The science of green balls. Does that mean your
Pretty
pee's not bad? Because, like, your balls are green?
No, it just means it's stronger irradiated.
Oh, stronger pee. I see. Remember, pee is stored in balls. Remember this.
Indeed. All right, lads. Later.
The level of this podcast is like descended into talk of.
I always like to bring the highbrow conversations to this podcast. Well, we don't have enough of them.
Well, that isn't Bertie. We need Bertie to be on.
Oh. Did Birdie receive his present yet? Have you shown him?
Okay.
No,
Right, I have returned.
Hello there. There's going to be an unveiling, and it was going to be after the podcast because inappropriate name for.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not about. But
What now?
So he's not going to be on after either?
I don't know. He's not online on Discord, so I'm trying to see if I can find him on Instagram because I follow him on Instagram. I can't remember what he's called though. It's some weird thing.
You know where he lives? You want to dox him? We can dox him.
Shut the fuck
Oh, he's from Manchester, but going to uni in Derby.
There you go, everyone. Find him.
Yeah.
Can't be that hard. He's an immigrant. There's no immigrants in Manchester.
If only you knew.
Oh yeah.
Right, Harry? There's no immigrants in Manchester.
You have no idea, do you? Sweet, sweet, pure, innocent summer child.
No, I do. That's why I'm making the joke.
And I'm making the joke that is... Okay, never mind.
Because, like, I thought all the immigrants go to the north.
Yeah, that's why it's a shell.
Yes.
That's why I'm going there. I'm going to not go to London. We're going to go straight to the north of England.
No, don't go to the north. Go to just out of London, but in mid somewhere.
Well, when I was almost going to go to England this year, fucking everyone's like, "Oh, let's go to London." I'm like, I don't want to go to London. I want to see the actual England. And they're like, "There's not much to see." I'm like, bullshit. There's not much to see.
It's just a case of it'd be nice to fucking actually see something decent and worthwhile. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we'll do some. If you come over, we'll like meet up and shit and do some. And it doesn't. Yeah, we'll go for a drink sometime in some shitty city.
Come in about 30 years when we've had the solution to the immigration problem.
Jesus Christ, Harry. Language.
I didn't say what the solution was.
No, but you have heavily implied a very particular.
No, I didn't. That's your imagination. I don't know what you were thinking. I said when there is a solution.
Keep with that.
He's gonna build a wall in the English Channel. Come on.
Yeah, look, I don't know what you were thinking.
I would spend a couple days in London just to go see the museums and shit.
Oh yeah.
And I want to go check out the London School of Economics. want to go see that. Something that's on the list.
That's a weird thing. I've never gone to see it. I've never seen because it's a weird. It's like something outside of anything I've ever thought of.
What do you mean? That's the F.A. Hayek and John Maynard Keynes. Oh, not Keynes. Keynes was at Cambridge. Hayek was at London School of Economics.
Yeah, if I go to London, I'm like, History Museum, the Natural History. The British Museum or the Science Museum or the Natural History Museum. It's like that's not something I've ever thought of. It's like, it could be good.
But yeah, there's not much left of England. Just give us like a couple of years and we'll fix that problem.
I'll just go out of the city.
There is that as well. But some people do get tired of just seeing nothing but countryside forever.
Oh,
Countryside's nice.
countryside is very nice. I live in the country.
Based.
Not sure about the English countryside. Is it just like mud?
How dare you? How fucking dare you? I'll destroy you for this. I will not cease until I have my revenge.
I'm gonna come to England, and it's gonna be the 1 week a year where there's sunshine.
Just to spite you.
Like I'm the reason why the sun shines. The Americans who come over, bring freedom. It's a fucking.
Freedom. Fuck off.
Come over and feel like what it's like to be oppressed. It's.
I can't wait.
We go crossbow shooting because that's the best we can do.
I remember you guys telling me like all the like do's and don'ts of like difference between England and America, and one of them was you don't wear sunglasses indoors.
I do.
Oh, everyone's telling me you can't wear sunglasses indoors because people think you're shady.
No, I do it anyway.
Yeah, do it anyway. Just make them think that you're going to get out to get them.
People think Shadow is shady.
The fucking brilliant irony of this.
Wow. God, I'm dying.
Die quieter.
I wish I could.
So are we bored of Brian Cox yet?
Okay.
Flying cocks.
We'll move on then, shall we?
Well, I'll never be bored of cock.
Shut the fuck up.
I posted. I said this one, Harry. Just like show the picture of her face.
Okay.
Scroll down.
What
Look
about...
at her makeup.
Really, in a fucking in that helmet? What the fuck?
You know how when like drivers after a race they take their helmets off and their faces are just dripping in sweat.
Yeah.
What's she gonna look like if she's got a face like that and goes in a race?
I think you know what she's gonna look like, and it's probably about as dumb as you think.
That's the entire reason why I shared that one. I have no idea why. He said something about like good girl wanted to be a driver or some shit. Just like, oh.
Do you guys not have female racing drivers over there?
The what?
So do you guys not have female F1 drivers? I thought there was. No?
No F1 drivers. No, I think there's like the other Formula racing whatevers there are. I think there's maybe some.
Well, America's more progressive than you. We have female NASCAR drivers.
So you have more estrogen, got it?
NASCAR's like a woman could drive that. You've got more corners in Formula One, and you've got to take them at like angles and stuff. That doesn't function in woman's brain very well.
How sexist of you. You're saying women are stupid. How dare you?
No, not
How
stupid.
dare you?
It's the spatial perception stuff is different. Word stuff is usually better. That's why there's less dyslexic women about men.
Ugh. Sorry. I'm I'm making soup at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. No, but imagine just... she'd probably get blinded by her own makeup just pouring all over her face and into her eyes. That's how I picture this.
Alright, get stuck together.
Jesus Christ. This is why I just kind of find women laughable at times.
Harry finds women disgusting. That's why he likes men.
I said laughable. It's like,
maybe she's doing a photo shoot.
what was that?
Maybe she's just done a photo shoot for that picture or something.
Maybe.
I don't know, but it's... Wait, there's a play button down the corner. Put the play on it, see what happens. See what, like, if that's just the thumbnail or if there's
To
actually...
see that you've got 3 women on one single car is fantastic. Even sort of 3 or 4 years ago, you wouldn't have seen that. It's very inspiring, and I hope it's inspiring for other people and other women who want to get into the sport.
After starting her career on the track as a grid girl, Laura Jones has her sights set on driving her own car.
If I hadn't have been a grid girl, I wouldn't be where I am now. I didn't feel exploited at all.
In 2018, it was decided grid girls would no longer be used in F1.
There was a clash of opinions, that people saying that, you know, the women are kind of being exploited, but
Or at work, so it's just like, well, I'll drive the
doing
car
that
then.
role that, you know, are successful accountants or lawyers or, you know, really good high jobs, and it's just something that they enjoy doing. There's positives and negatives to everything. When you're in school, you're very limited.
Can hear in the left side of my fucking earphones.
Directed on this path, whereas really there's so many more opportunities that you're just not made aware of.
Laura first showed an interest in racing at a young age.
All came from my father. He used to do road rallying, hill climbing, so from basically the second I was born, cars were always in the family. We'll head into the garages and we'll have a bit of a walk round. We've got our data station over here, which is where all of our engineers work from. This is the car that I've been driving today. It's the GT4 McLaren.
And the BBC have gone, a woman!
Laura is a mechanic for a race.
I swear the BBC are the most thirsty people who have ever lived.
This one will help her get in the driver's
Oh,
seat.
she's just doing her thing. She's like, likes
those
those things. You got put out of work by a stupid rule. So Nick was like, okay, I need to do something different. I'll drive it.
There's a lot of trust to have in the car, and
Like,
you
fair
can't
enough.
go into corners at a speed where you
But
think
the BBC are
you
like,
should not be going around this corner.
it's a woman doing a man thing, so they start
The
celebrating.
attitude towards female drivers is changing.
I think it's much better now than what it used to be. So many teams are like, yeah, brilliant, let's get a woman in, and it's not.
Let's
because
get...
it's a female, it's not because
Literally
they
Why a
feel they
woman?
need
Why
a
not
female
just a
on the
person
team.
who's good?
She's
Either a
gonna-
man or a
doesn't
woman.
matter if she's male or
Whatever.
female.
Like,
She can come work for us. I think if you want
Because
it,
it
that's
needs
what
to be a
It doesn't
woman,
matter
Shadow,
if-
that's
you're
why.
going to ensure that you
you
are
say it doesn't matter
at
if
the right
she's
level to be
male
able to be
or a man or whatever. I'm not
relevant in
sure.
the sport and
Might
relevant
have
within that
missed that.
team.
After the announcement to stop using grid girls, the director of Silverstone said, "We wholeheartedly support the decision by F1 to drop the use of grid girls. It is an outdated practice that no longer has a place
Yeah,
in
but it
sport."
certainly doesn't look as good anymore, does it?
They weren't like fucking naked with tits out or shit. They were just like pretty girls who'd hold an umbrella for
They should have been, though.
the driver, and it's like, what's so like wrong about that? I don't know. Seems like ugly, jealous, and like you got the two different types of feminists. You got it's like the sex positive and sex negative, but I think the sex negative ones are usually like those who are just too ugly. They don't get any, and they're like, so nobody else should have any, because you shouldn't objectify women like that. And it's like, only because you'll never look like that.
You're like they're just jealous that you'll never be good looking enough.
Just jealous that you're a fucking sea egg.
Yeah. Fuck. But with that, I don't feel comfortable reading through the thing that Second brought up unless he's here, because I don't know if he's gonna sell that. Like, I like his writing. It's just he went to bed to take a nap from being hungover, so I don't want to go through it in case he's gonna like sell that in a book or something. So I'm not gonna go through that.
It's a Substack. Just what?
What was that?
Just link it in the whatever. Link it in the description.
No,
This is writing.
It's all. Oh well, it's linked in the Discord if anyone wants it. But with that said, I think we're out of what's it called topics. So keep chatting though if you want, because we can keep this going for a bit while you guys talk if you want.
No, I got nothing. I'm just dying. So.
Oh, you had something before
Yeah.
I said something. Damn it.
Eerie silence.
You were
put
talking
pressure
fine
on-
until I spoke.
You put pressure on people to talk, and nobody wants to talk.
Oh dear me. Silly me, am I right? Oh well. Shall I end the episode then?
Why not?
End the episode.
Okay, because then I can find out what the fuck is going on with my computer.
Goodbye, fuckers.
Shadilay, everybody. I think.